To replace Hump Day Hook, I'm going to be reading a little bit of Demon Soul. I'm going to start at the beginning and hopefully we will be able to go until the end of the book. So if you didn't read the book, you can hear it and decide to read it later, or you can just hear the story, or you can get the book and read it together. Anyway, so let's get started, and we're going to start with the prologue. So, Demon Soul prologue. It was a dark day, following a dark week, and Brownie already knew that this would happen. She had been fighting it for weeks, but now it was already too late. Even if she could save him, his love was already dead. It left with his memory changing. Brownie watched him leave for the last time, with tears falling from her eyes, knowing his soul had died long ago. She knew that he wasn't the one she fell in love with, and she knew he was a completely different person, unable to love her anymore. But those thoughts didn't make it easier. Seeing him walking away from her again reminded her of her vain quest to bring him back. Maybe she would try again, not for his love, just to give him his soul back. That would be the last thing she could do for him. But despite weeks of effort, she hadn't found a way yet. When she first met him, she knew he was the love of her life. Behind his demonic manners, she had seen his soul, a beautiful purple light dancing in his grey eyes. In a few seconds it had stolen her heart. Then she had worked so hard to make him love her, to make him believe that her love for him was beyond his demonic condition, beyond his power, to make him believe that she could love him no matter what. She was there when he came back from the fight in the Demon World, covered in blood, and she was there to bring him back when his dark side was devouring him. Each time his purple soul was dancing in his grey eyes, and each time he was coming back for her. "You make me feel strange," he had said. "It's normal for a demon to feel unloved." Then she had promised to make him feel loved every day, and that made him love. But now it was all gone. That time it was different. When he came back after one more fight at night, he didn't rush flying through the window. He calmly knocked at the door and apologized for the trouble caused. Something broke in her heart. She instinctively knew that something was wrong, but she couldn't put a name on it. For a few days he acted like a ghost, and had violent crises due to headaches, pushing her away when she wanted to help. Finally he started to spice up their meeting. She cried, yelled, and questioned him, but the only answer she obtained was that everything was fine, that she was the one acting strange. In despair, she locked herself in the library, reading books about demons and magic, looking for an answer, looking for a way to bring him back. But all was vain. She couldn't find what was wrong, until his dark side told her how happy he was that the demon community had decided to get rid of his soul. She felt so empty and hopeless that she couldn't fight anymore. She realized that each time before, when his dark side was buried his soul deep inside him, she just had to call their memory together to bring him back. But now it was gone, and the memory of them were erased from his mind, one by one, as they were torturing his soul. Desperately, she still tried. Each time she saw him, she cried, but became more determined to get his soul back. However, she never managed to have enough power to bring him back to her. Without his soul, the demon she had loved has died inside his own body. She never saw his soul again, dancing in his eyes. She couldn't bear it anymore to see him like that. And he didn't love her anymore. He didn't remember their time together, the joy they had once felt. He was coming to her just by habit. So this moment now was meant to happen. Since that night, she always knew it. She pushed it away as much as she could, but now he was walking away. leaving her with an empty heart. She sighed deeply and dried her tears. He was just an empty shell. She had read so much lately, her way of thinking had changed. But even if he was just an empty shell, his soul was still here, somewhere, in this world or another, and wherever it was, she was going to find it. A new knowledge tortured her. She was imagining his soul in the worst place possible. She had been having nightmares for a week. She had been dreaming with open eyes, barely noticing the world around her, and she had been waking up at night, covered in sweat. She needed to find it back, and to protect it no matter what it took. Nobody would care for a demon soul. Nobody would ever care but her. She saw it in, and now it was her responsibility. She looked at him until he disappeared behind a tree. Then she stayed longer, staring at the trees, lost in dark thought. She noticed she was home when she reached the wooden door and heard her little sibling arguing in the entrance. She sighed again. Living in a house full of kids wasn't the most restful place she could dream of.